Okay, time to see what I'm going to do with this. Now, let's see what I got here. I am going to look at my tablet again. If it's working. Yes. All right, so I'm looking around in the Harper collection and seeing what I can do with this. The one that stands out to me the most is this one here, this odd one right there. I've only seen one example of this style. Now I could make one of these or this one, anything with a wide base or potential for width is down here. I could make one of these, but this one seems to be most interesting to me. Now it has a contour that goes out and then down and then in as it goes down and then back out, and it's a little bit rounded. Same on the other side. So that contour is important, and the depth of the central notch is important. Everything else is relatively easy. So I think what I'm going to do is attack, the outline first, and then the notches, and then the basal notch, side notches, and then the base notch. Yeah, the proportions are actually not too bad. I think I can get them without having to constantly refer to the picture. So the first thing I need to do is constrict the sides a little bit. So, yeah, I'll just do that. Constrict the sides a little bit first. It'll give me a chance to thin it down just a little bit more. And then I'll attack the outline, right? Put the side notches and then the base notch. Shouldn't take too long, right? Now, if I rush it, it will break. So I can't rush, but it shouldn't take too long. The pressure is on because I announced it before I start. A lot of times I just wait until the end to see what it's going to be. Yeah. Why do I want to thin it more? I really don't want to thin it more, but I want to get rid of some of the lumps. And if I can, get rid of some of these crunchy spots. That's really what I want to do. It doesn't need to go any thinner. Nope. Nope. The hard part of thinning is already over. I mean, I could have just left it alone, but you know me, I can't leave it alone, not yet. I still want to pick at it. Let's see. I need the better glasses. Yeah, hold on a second. Before I attack this spot here, I need to make the edge, move the edge more toward that way. Since I've got to constrict this part anyway, or this whole middle area, I can lose some width right there. Yeah, okay. I just make it less crunchy if I can. Why so much effort on such a little arrowhead? I don't know. They require just as much effort as the big ones. Did it do it? Right out of the gate. Yes, it did. All right. Let's see. Come on. I'll pick that out later. Yeah. All right. So the other side. Yeah, there it goes. That's what I wanted to do. Get rid of that lump. There's still a lump right here. I don't know if I want to mess with it. Well, I want to mess with it. I don't know if I should mess with it. I shouldn't. Let's do some preemptive thinning on the stem and the base. Right in this area. Why do I abrade a large area? See, I abraded a large area here to thin that down when all it needed was one flake. It's because sometimes it needs more than one flake. Yeah, that's why. That's why I abrade a large area. So I don't have to keep going back and forth with figuring out what small area to abrade each time. Hold on, this is not... I have to move the edge on this side too. Move the edge more that way. Got to be careful. When it gets thin, everything is more persnickety. The more it gets thin, the more persnickety you gotta be. I wish there was a rule. A rhyming rule. Yeah. That didn't go very far. Dang it. It tried to. Ah, there it goes. See, that wasn't that hard. I'm talking to the stone. It doesn't want to. It usually doesn't want to do it. But it did it. Kind of, sort of. All right. Good enough? Yeah. I could take another flake. Take another flake. Yes. All right. I'm not going to push my luck. Excuse me. All right, so that's good. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to push my luck. All right, so the contour is a little bit incurvate here, excurvate up near the top. You know, it bulges out a little bit here, and then goes in here, and then it bulges back out. Yeah. I don't know why. Actually, a lot of arrowheads are shaped that way. Got to be a reason. I think it's just an aspect of the thinning process. If you do this shape, you start with straight sides. If you start with straight sides, and then you can shoot in thinning flakes as it gets more narrow here. But you don't need to shoot thinning flakes across this part because it's easy to pressure flake across that part. Did they use indirect percussion on these? I don't know. It would seem that they would have to sometimes, but they may just be using heavy pressure on these areas that are constricted like that. Could be just heavy pressure. These barbs are slightly rounded out here. Now there's no side views. Well, not for, I don't know, maybe there is, but I didn't look. Usually there's no side views for arrowheads in these collections. Sometimes you'll get a side view if you're lucky. So I don't know how thin these were, or I don't know how many of these are out there. This might be just a one-off variant. But it'd be nice to have a side view. Come on. I have to pressure flake that out. No, that's good. Yeah. Send a pressure flake into this one. I can't hook onto it. Yeah, I can. There it is. Why do I take care of those? Because if it's all finished and I do that at the end, sometimes I snap off a barb where it can be snapped off. How do I know? I don't know. Beauteous. Yes, yes. All right, from memory, I'm going to do this. Right? No. Second thought. Let's get the tablet. Okay. Yeah, one of these days I'll make a bunch of cardboard patterns. Or patterns from cardstock. I got the cardstock. I got notes on what I want patterns of. I just haven't done it yet. That way I don't have to keep referring to the internet. Or have to deal with an electronic device so I can see examples. I just bring out my pattern box. If I have a box of patterns, it'd be so nice. When I do these fast, I kind of crunch it. Okay. Come on. I leave the shop door open for a second and look what I get. The fly is hungry for some reason. It's a little bit crunchy there. See, I don't want to get rid of, I don't want to be doing this at the end. I want to make sure I get all the fat spots off before the ending. Yeah, I can do the tip last, but I just want to get the fat spots off because those require some, some fairly good pressure. I don't want to be doing it when these barbs are so delicate. I don't want to be doing it when it's toward the end. Okay. It's so much easier to do this when I've had some sleep. I was able to take a long nap today. So much easier. Yeah, I keep fussing with it because I want to get the outline just right. Okay, never mind. That's it. And then, okay, notches. I need to know where the notches. Where the notches go? All right, let's study that for a second. The notch is actually straight on the top and then rounded underneath. Right, the notches are straight. On the top of the notch, it's kind of straight. It goes down a little bit, and then it's curved underneath. And it's not a narrow entry. Yeah, okay. And I have a little downward curve before the notch. So I got to make sure I have a downward curving situation before the notch. I got a downward curving. Do I? Let's see. If I put the notch there, I have like a swoop. Still have a swoop this way. All right, let's see. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Okay. 20 minutes already. Yeah, 20 minutes already. So yeah, just eyeballing it. Luckily, it's not a narrow entry. I made a good choice, huh? It's not a narrow entry notch, so it's not going to be a pain. Yeah, I don't want to talk during the notching. Not on the first one anyway. I think I'm going a little too deep on it. One more pop out. Okay, it's a little bit too narrow. I don't know. It doesn't matter. As long as I can match them up. See, this one is not. Yeah, this one is too low already. Yeah, I'm just crunch them in. Yes, I think so. This is really thick right there on that one. Let's see what I can do. Yes, yes. Maybe. It's hard to see because it's so glossy. All right, so one more peek. So the sides of the sides. Where's my file? These barbs slant inward like that, a little bit. It's a very small gap between the notch and the central notch and the side notches. Okay, so I got to angle these the other way. And it gives me a chance to thin them down. And of course, add a little step fracture. Got to have one in there somewhere. Yeah, see how nicely that flakes. I like it. All right, so the one more step. Yeah, just a matter of whittling it away now without putting too much pressure on it. Before everything starts getting too delicate, I got to make sure I have the sides done. Of course, I had to install a little step fracture there, of course. All right, let me see. I wish there was a lot of good nature sounds in the background while I'm doing this, but it seems to be awfully quiet. I do hear a crow back there. I don't want to talk too much during this process because You know how it goes. It's going to be actually fairly easy to get that notch deep. Yeah. I'm wondering if it's if I put the side notches in too low or something. Yeah. And it's wide also. The whole point, the whole arrowhead is kind of wide, so it leaves plenty of room between the notches. If it was more narrow, it'd be more of a constriction right there. So yeah, I think these are small anyway. I didn't look at the scale. But compared to the other arrowheads, it's about the same size, so I'm probably making this a little bit too big. I'm just saying that because the proportions look a little off. Come on. All right, use the other tool. Yeah. I don't want any stalled areas at all. Nice clean pop outs everywhere. This is the way to go. Let's see. Yeah, they made it really thin. This area right in between is very delicate. Mine's not that delicate. I can make it more delicate. Hold on. I don't know why they make it so difficult on themselves when they do these. It's probably not that they're making it difficult for themselves, but it's for a reason that these are so delicate. And I think it's because they want them to break as soon as they hit the target and snap. But there's got to be a little balance there because you don't want this to snap before you shoot it. You know, you don't want it to break on the quiver or bump up against the bow and snap. If I had arrowheads bump up against my bow and snap, need you ask? Need you ask how I know that? I don't know how I know that. These little step fractures. It prevents the nice clean pop outs. Is that deep enough? Yes. Yep. All right. I think it's it. Do I need to sharpen anything or fix anything? Did you see how I did it? This one doesn't have a needle tip. It just has a very nice contour on the tip. That's not a needle tip. Yeah. And it's a little bit translucent, is it? I need a flashlight. I think it's, yeah, it's got some translucency to it. It's not that translucent. I think that's it. That was easy peasy. Really? Yeah, it was kind of easy. This is the Arrow foreshaft. Yeah. Now, it probably doesn't need a big long piece of wood or a deep notch. Oh, I gotta make some more of those notches. Foreshafts with notches. This is a more shallow one. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah. So that's it. Good. I was nervous. Don't get me wrong, but it was easier than I thought. Yeah. So yeah, I'll take a picture like that. What I would do is use a lot of glue. What I do, use glue. And then this one looks like it's very easy to haft. Yeah. But a lot of glue is needed because of the gaps between the foreshaft and the bottoms of the notches. Now, if I make it more narrow, that gap is taken up. But see, it's resting on the sides of the notch. Right here, there's a lot of space in there for glue. Yeah. And you see where it's resting on the side of the notch. Now you can make this notch to where there's a V at the bottom. You know, in the middle, it'll be higher than the sides. That might work too. You know, when you're cutting the notch, you can cut it at an angle like this, and then flip it over, and you have a higher spot in the middle inside there. If you want, but this will work too. There's, you know, there's plenty of, if you have plenty of wood over the top of the stone covering that central notch, it'll make a good glue joint, but it'll snap easily. I can see where this would snap right across there, leaving this whole tip area in the wound. See that? I mean, these will snap right there easily. And it's not that easy to pull out because these barbs are substantial. Yeah, they're not pointy. They might even be dulled so they, you know, it doesn't cut its way through on when you try to pull it out. Because if these are sharp underneath, you pull it out, it'll cut its way through. It's actually easier. It'll rip and cut, yeah, but you can pull it. If it's dulled, it'll stuck. It'll stick, stay stuck because it won't cut its way back out. Yeah. Nasty. Why do I think of these things? I don't know. There it is, 38 minutes. I like it. The contours, it dips down. See how, oops, let me see. Let me get my file. This is for some other project. I don't want to mess it up. See, it goes outward here and then inward, and then there's a slight bulge here, and these are slanted that way. This side looks good. This side is not quite right. I would have to take it back a little more, but I'm just going to leave it. Yep, there you go. That's it.